Good morning, and thank you for tuning back into Traveling McGee. I am really excited for you to be here. Today is going to be the start of a series that I'm doing here along the Chesapeake Bay. This video today is just going to be kind of an introduction, kind of tell you about what I'm going to be seeing, what my plans are, and to also give a little bit of history about the bay, its importance, why it's so significant here in the United States, and just kind of touch on a few things before I get into the actual series. So I hope you stick around and watch. So like I said, I am here on the Chesapeake Bay. It is pretty significant here in the United States. The largest brackish water system here in the United States. Brackish just meaning it's a combination of salt water and fresh water, which is really important because that enables certain sea life to kind of thrive here. I think the Chesapeake Bay is pretty synonymous with different types of crustacean like crabs and clams and mussels. So it's really important for certain types of wildlife. Migratory birds are very important here. There are a lot of different types of animals that call this area their home, which is really important. A lot of the bay is protected areas. There we will be going through a couple different national wildlife refuges. There are several state parks and wildlife areas, like I said, natural areas that are very present here throughout the Chesapeake Bay. And again, you know, the Chesapeake Bay is a very underrated part of the country. I don't think it's talked about very much. I don't know the reasons for that, so hoping that I can shed a little bit of light about it, share with all of you the beauty of it. There's so many things to do and see around the Chesapeake Bay. There are hundreds of small little fishing villages, historic fishing villages. There is, like I said, you have the different types of wildlife here that exists. You have major shipping routes, you have major cities, but there's also a lot of American history that took place here on the bay, from the Revolutionary War through the Civil War to modern day times. The Bay Area is very significant in American history. Again, the bay was used during the Revolutionary War by the British as well as by the Colonial Army during the Civil War, and even before the Civil War. There is one of the places that we will be visiting here is the Harriet Tubman National Historic Park, who was a pioneer before the Civil War for leading African slaves out of the South and up through the Mason-Dixon line, also known as the Underground Railroad. So that was very significant here as well. And as far as modern day, you know, you have a lot of Norfolk is a massive military installment here on the bay. It's mainly a Navy base, but you also have Langley, which is an Air Force base. So my intention with this video is to kind of shed light on all of that, show everybody around. I'm hoping to see some really cool fishing towns, some old historic buildings, some places of historical significance. I'm hoping to get on some beaches if it's not too foggy. And as well, I'm hoping to see a good amount of lighthouses. Lighthouses are pretty prevalent here on the bay, and one of those lighthouses is right behind me, and it is one of the northernmost lighthouses here on the bay. Now, you really wouldn't know it by looking at it, but it's actually about 100 feet tall, but we're on a cliff. So there's a cliff line right here, and again, because of the fog, it kind of dictates how far you can see, but just beyond these trees there's about a 130-foot drop off, and right out there is the bay. So you're just gonna have to trust me, but this is the northern tip of the bay. It runs up along here, and there's a small inlet that comes up that way, and that turns into the Northeast River. A little bit more about this lighthouse. It was constructed in 1833, and again, it's one of the northernmost lighthouses here on the bay. It was in operation until 2000, the year 2000. It was using an electric light up at the top to guide ships, you know, and on foggy days, on foggy nights like this, it was probably very much welcomed. There's a little plaque located right in front of the lighthouse, kind of giving a little bit more of a detailed history about the lighthouse and its lighthouse keepers. You can climb up the lighthouse. I think it said it's about 100 steps, so not very much. Again, though, when that is open, it's very iffy. I would recommend maybe calling the Elk Neck State Park, maybe their visitor center, and they could probably give you some more information. But it looks like it would be well worth the view if it wasn't so foggy. I used to come here a lot as a child, actually, because I grew up about 30 minutes from here, so this is not my first time visiting this area or this lighthouse. There's about a mile trail to get to the lighthouse from the parking area, but well worth it and relatively flat. It's a very nice walk, and on a nice clear day you can come out to the point here and you can really see all of the northern part of the bay here. So I'm starting this little journey up at the top, working my way down through the peninsula of Maryland, the eastern shore of Maryland, going down through the Bay Bridge, which I'm really excited about, going into Virginia Beach, coming back up through Newport News, and then I will be kind of coming up through the little inlets and little peninsulas on the eastern shore of Virginia before I get into Annapolis again, back into Maryland. So I will be in 2 states on this trip. I'm also hoping to get some really good seafood. Again, like I mentioned, the Bay Area is known for its crabs, the Maryland blue crab, the blue swimming crab, which is very prevalent here. But definitely, I'm gonna be taking some opportunities to get some Maryland, some Chesapeake style type of cooking, which I'm really looking forward to. I just wanted to do a quick little video introduction of what I'm gonna be up to next here. Hopefully everybody plans to stick around. I think it's gonna be probably like a 3-video series. I'm going to try to break it down in about 3 different sections. So eastern shore of Maryland, Virginia Beach, Newport News area, and then kind of north of there, including Annapolis, which I will be at one day, and then kind of some of the beaches and some of the parks there on the Virginia side. But that's my goal. That's my intention with this video, is to, again, just kind of shed some light on the Chesapeake Bay area. It's a really beautiful part of the country, a significant part of the country, and there's so much to see here. What you're going to see in this series is probably only about 10% of what there is to see and do here. So hopefully this series encourages people to come to the Chesapeake Bay area, eat some good food, learn about the history, see the beaches and the water and the lighthouses like we just saw. One of many that we're going to be seeing. And yeah, hopefully it just encourages people to come out and visit. So if this piques your interest, please stay tuned. And thank you for watching Traveling McGee. See ya.